Africa region. They won their tournament in the Netherlands to make it here to Greenville. And Bluberto will be the first one up for Italy, lays down the butt, it stays fair, and the play is made 1 out away. Take a look at the lineup for this Italian team. Blue started us off, followed by Giulia and Caterina. Torci will be the first 3 batters that we'll face. I'm really excited to see Team Italy. They felt like they had a lot of different pitchers that they could use. They felt like they're kind of a strong all-around team. This is Giulia Calzaroli.
Yeah, it's going to be all about how comfortable or how quickly they can get comfortable here on this field, playing at the World Series, their first game, and Philippines has one under their belt already.
Calzolari steps back in to face JC Pahotol. What was one of the main things that you noticed about JC in the circle when we got to see her for the first time last night?
Yeah, I really like her mechanics. She does not have a big pitching frame. Sometimes you'll see pitchers who are 6 feet tall, 6'2", but she just has really smooth mechanics. She uses her legs well. She drags the entire time. Sometimes you'll see pitchers leap, which can cause an illegal pitch, but she has really great mechanics and throws a lot of strikes. And you know what? She doesn't have 18 different pitches. She has one pitch that she relies on, her fastball, and she throws it everywhere, just like that.
And she gets her first strikeout of the day. Remember, she had 11 strikeouts yesterday. Struck out the side to open up the game. Do you like the approach that her coaching staff has used with her to get really good at that fastball, the location on it, like to really focus on that before you expand your different types of pitches?
Yeah, I think that's always the best way to go, is to master one thing before you move on. And I don't think that's just a pitching type thing. I think that's something in life, right? Like, don't try to do a million different things and do them okay, but do one thing at a time, learn to master it, and then grow from there. A fastball is just so foundational for a pitcher because it's the first pitch that you learn. It's the most important mechanics that you really try to put in the reps for. So the muscle memory becomes there, and then it's easier to learn new pitches, like a changeup or like a curveball, a rise ball. Although it looks like Pahotol, whenever she throws more up in the zone, it does look like a rise ball. And you'll notice her catcher, Crystal Lobaton, will stand up, not squat, but kind of rise up out of her squat, helping Pahotol try to throw it higher in the zone, give her a better target.
Right now facing Caterina Torci. Caterina's a Lakers and an Astros fan, Amanda.
My kind of girl right there.
Yeah.
Astros all the way.
She put down her aunt played softball in the Athens Olympics.
A cool experience there.
Yeah, how neat. It was so cool to see softball back in the Olympics in Tokyo.
That's a great take right there, Courtney. And that's what we didn't see Canada do a lot against Pahotol last night, and that's what led to her 11 strikeouts, is that often Canada was swinging at that pitch more up in the zone. Good discipline by her.
Back-to-back Ks for JC Pahotol, and it's 3 up, 3 down for Italy. While the pitching was really good last night for the Philippines, they only had 1 hit, and that 1 run that ended up being the difference in the game was scored on an error. So interested to see if they can time up Sofia De Pasquale in the circle a little bit better than they could Canada last night. Chelsea Lobaton, the catcher, starts off against Sofia De Pasquale.
And De Pasquale will throw a fastball very similar to Pahotol on the other side, and that is the one pitch that she throws. We'll also mix in a changeup here and there, but both of these, both pitching staffs on both sides We're going back to that foundational mechanics, trying to throw a fastball, working a changeup here and there before you move on to a lot of other movement pitches. One thing at a time, mastery of one pitch and the reps of it.
Chelsea Lobaton quickly became one of our most intriguing players to watch. You already talked a little bit about her when she's catching behind the plate, how active she is, how she'll stand up. She'll go ahead and take her base here on the free pass.
This is a Philippines team that doesn't hit for a lot of power. Small ball and speed is definitely more their name of the game on offense. And so a good walk right there for Lobaton to start things off. Look for somebody like Matarong, who's up right now, to potentially lay down a bunt, a sneaky bunt. Well, right now she's moving all the way in the back of the box.
Audrey is so tiny, guys. Wow. Runner going. They're not afraid to steal.
And that's why Audrey got all the way in the back of the box to make it harder for Mancini, the catcher, make it a further throw. So she went all the way in the back of the box, and now she's not going to be as far back, although I will tell you what, she is right on top of the plate, crowding the plate. Usually you see a hitter be in the front of the box in a bunt situation so that you can catch it out in front, and there's less room for error in terms of the bunt hitting the plate and bouncing foul, or just not catching it out in front, not having as good of angles with your barrel to lay the bunt down. She's going to move up now a little bit. We'll see if she decides to square around again.
And she does go with the bunt. The throw is low, so Audrey will be safe. Run is coming across for the Philippines. Using that small ball.
So similar to how they scored in the first inning in last night's game against Canada, except it was Blancha who scored, but she walked, then stole a base, and then there was an error, and she scored last night. The same thing happens today. Philippines scores first, and the teams that have scored first in this tournament have had a lot of success.
And that run scores on an error, so no RBI there for Audrey, but she did her job, and she's on first. A run has come across early. Cher Blancha out into center field. I don't know if the Philippines slept with their bats last night and got them all warmed up and ready to go, but here they are today.
Blancha being aggressive early in the count. Look how she just shoots that ball right back up the middle, past Episquale's head almost. Love how aggressive that Blancha was. Good power, good timing.
Brings us to Kazea Valenzuela. And the bases are loaded. No outs. Bases loaded for the Philippines, and Sofia Mancini behind the plate is trying to call her infield in together to have a chat. And it looks like their manager too, Stefano Cenci, is going to head out to the circle.
Yeah, I think it's a good time for a timeout here. It's early in the game, and a few small things on defense aren't going in the way of Italy, like that last play, ground ball to second base. Calzolari just wanted to toss the ball to second base to get the force out, but nobody was there to cover.
Oh man, and here comes the pitcher, JC Pahotal, up with the bases loaded and no outs. Remember, the Philippines only had 2 hits yesterday, and they've had 3 in a row now. Two in a row, excuse me, 2 in a row. I got excited. JC Pahotal, our favorite player, Michelle Smith. We know her.
We know her. We really do.
She'll be here Friday. She's bringing you a sweatshirt.
Which is crazy in this 100-degree weather.
Yeah, well.
A little cold in the booth, not gonna lie.
Matarong at third, Blancha at second, and Valenzuela at first right now for the Philippines. Sofia De Pasquale trying to stay composed in the circle. 2-1 count here. JC right back to the pitcher. They'll get the force out at home, but base is still loaded.
Just an important out, though, to be able to get that first out of the inning, especially when there's a lot of chaos going on earlier in the inning, and De Pasquale knows exactly what she wants to do with it. Easy out at home.
Next up, Ann Manalo to face De Pasquale. Oh, gets underneath that ball. Puts it way high up in the air, and Martina Fentinati is there. A run comes across.
Fentinati played that ball really well, because if that would have gotten over her head, the bases likely would have cleared, and the Philippines would have scored 3, maybe even 4 with an in-the-park home run. Manalo, definitely the most power that we have seen off the bat of a Philippines hitter. Fentinati being able to track that down, but Philippines puts another run on the board. Now up 2-0.
Key, she had those sunnies on because it is bright out there. Princess Ablig up 2-1. Ablig had a hit last night. She was 1 for 1.
About too, it has to be so hard for the Philippines to enter in this game and know that your manager, who you have a lot of comfort with, you practice with him all the time, he coached them last night and a couple of other games this summer, isn't there with you on the field, in the dugout, talking to you in between innings. And Ryan Blanca now at third base as a third base coach stepping in for his role, but it just is a little different when somebody is missing, whether that's a player or a coach. When just something is missing, things feel a little bit off, but the Philippines have been able to respond and respond big.
And there you see Ryan over in the third base coach's box. Taught himself softball, did not play growing up, but watched YouTube videos and just loves the sport and loves coaching these girls.
It was a lot of fun to talk with. Passion for the sport, even though he did not play.
And the free pass issued to Princess Ablig, so that loads the bases.
Philippines just has such a good game plan going on right now offensively, being able to execute, take their walks when they're given to them, seeing some more power in their swings. I mean, Philippines just really has it going on early in this tournament.
Angela Esperida, the number 8 hitter. Favorite movie, Doctor Strange? They have a lot of that. I like the Marvel movies too.
That's your jam.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Not my lingo.
Yep, I got you.
It's so boring, I think, besides softball.
No. It's just because we haven't shown you a dog yet here.
Always on the lookout, though.
Ball 3.
So important for Sofia De Pasquale to challenge Esperida right now. I mean, challenge her, I mean, throw it right down Broadway. Make her put the ball in play or make a decision if she wants to swing. Likely she's going to take this pitch regardless. And even better reason to throw a strike because it gets you back into the count. It's a great pitch. You're also dealing with a smaller strike zone. The Philippines team, top to bottom on average, has the shortest players out of any team in this tournament. Finding the bottom of the strike zone to get right back into the count.
Strikeout for Sophia! Rung her up with the bases loaded, but not before the Philippines scores twice.
Well, she did. Again, it has a different feel to it when you've already been out here on this field, played in front of the cameras and in this beautiful stadium, in front of fans and with more added pressure. So you can tell that they're comfortable coming to the game today. And Italy likely having some nerves right now. They're trying to knock off.
Martina Fantinati, who made the great catch out in center field. She's going to lead off this inning for Italy.
And tell the communication too for the Philippines defense. After every strike, they let each other know, okay, one strike. Like immediately after the strike, the infield turns to the outfield, raises up a finger. Don't do it for the balls, but they get really excited about every single strike. And it's not just telling each other how many outs there are, it's also reminding how many strikes there are. This defense plays with a lot of passion. They're constantly moving, constantly staying on their toes, communicating to each other. All the good qualities that make a complete defense on the infield and outfield.
Big cut coming from Fantinati.
There it is.
There it is. That's two.
And they tell everybody. I just saw the first baseman, Manalo, look to the stands too and remind them that there's two strikes.
That'll help me do my job. Well, remember too, if you were with us last night, you heard us tell this story, but the Philippines, they go to school for softball, so they leave their families and they go to this special school. They practice 2 times a day at 5 a.m. and at 2 p.m. So they really work on those fundamentals. Boom, JC.
3 strikeouts in a row now for JC Pahotal, moving that ball up in the zone. I love the way, love the way that Lobaton works with Pahotal. They are such a strong battery. They make the rest of this team go.
3 strikeouts in a row for JC Pahotal, and now she faces Georgia Frascaroli.
But you can tell that this is a team that practices a lot, Courtney. You can tell that they are dedicated. You can tell that they're dedicated not only putting the time, but focusing on all the small things in every aspect of the game. It goes back to those small fundamental details that most people want to skip past. They want to move forward. Just like throwing a fastball and a curve, rise, drop, through, drop curve, and having 8 different pitches. You don't need that. You need to be able to focus on one thing at a time, master it before you move on, because it's only going to help you in the long run. Everybody wants results and all the things right now. Really, you can do little things right now to set yourself up for success later, and that's what this Philippines team does with how much they work on their fundamentals.
And it's paying off here on a very big stage. 2-2 count to Frascaroli. Make it 4 Ks in a row for JC Pahotal.
I mean, she's just working all parts of the zone. Her first strikeout of this inning was with her rise ball. And then the next strikeout is more low in the zone with her drop. Even though Lobaton wanted that pitch up, still got a swing and miss with it being down. And I called it a drop because it did drop. But she's just out there trying to throw a fastball and locate it in all the different quadrants, up, down, in and out.
The distribution too, 15 strikes, 7 balls. Sofia Mancini now up for Team Italy.
I mean, can you imagine a team here dedicating themselves to practice at 5 a.m. and 2 p.m. 2 times a day?
Do you mean in the States?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
You don't really see it.
Well, the NCAA forbids that, I think.
Well, not in college, but young, because there's so many athletes that want to get better and they say they don't have the time because they have school and homework and extracurricular activities. But there's so much time before school that if you wake up early and even 30 minutes earlier and put time into your craft, it can pay off. Now, they do practice at 5 a.m. and then go back and take a nap.
Well, right now because they don't have school.
Right now because they don't have school, but
trying to avoid some of that heat in the Philippines.
Yeah. But it is something that you can do even when it's not the summer. You just have to stay committed, sacrifice a little bit, plan out your time.
2-2 count right now to Mancini. Count runs full.
Again, Italy doing a good job, but for the most part, being off of that rise ball, really making Pahotal work more to bring that pitch further down.
Count them, 5 strikeouts in a row.
And this is the second time in the World Series that she has struck out this side. You mentioned it.
Athletes Unlimited. And she was in the booth with us yesterday.
Yeah, had so much fun with her and Aaliyah Andrews, another slapper. But, you know, Aaliyah plays outfield and then Sis plays infield. So you have a couple of speedy players that good with their short game. Have a little bit of pop, too. One's an innie and one's an outie. Love talking with them.
They were a lot of fun yesterday as Cheska Palmieri is going to lead off here. The Philippines almost sent 9 to the plate in the first inning. She is the number 9 hitter. Scored 2 runs. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of lefty slappers. There's a couple.
Yeah, we haven't. And that's what Sis and Aaliyah were telling us yesterday, is that they really started to develop their slap game more later on in their career when they got to high school. But I have seen it when I was growing up that there would be somebody who batted left-handed, or maybe even they batted right-handed, and you turn them around on the left side because they have speed and tell them to slap, knowing that that is one of the tools that somebody who has speed can use up in the box. So it used to happen, I feel like, at a younger age, and now they're waiting to add it later.
Strike comes in from Sofia De Pasquale. Do you think the game has dictated that, like the college game? Like, do we see more big hitters like Jocelyn Allo as opposed to...
Yeah, the offenses have definitely gotten more powerful. And then, of course, the out-of-the-box rule that has affected slappers has greatly affected slappers of younger ages, too.
Palmieri, and the play is going to be made by Julia Calzolari at second.
The fact that Calzolari was just headed that way. If she's a second baseman, a spectator watching that play, and thinking, oh, that's down the line, like that's just pretty far away from me, I'm just going to watch her field it, then there's no way that she makes that play. But she's moving toward the ball, always having a place to be on defense. And that's something, Courtney, that doesn't go down in the scorebook. It just looks like a 3-4U, I guess, is how you score that. I don't even know, but it doesn't go down in the scorebook, but it's one of those important little details of the game that are so important.
So top of the order, Chelsea Lobaton. And that one's going to get past Calzolari at second, and Lobaton is going to be safe.
It's going to go down as an error on Calzolari, who just made that great play. This time she has to move up toward the middle of the field. Gets a bad hop that's so tough to move toward the middle of the field and field a bouncy ball like that.
And so it looks like we may have a change here for the Philippines. Remember, we do have, everybody has to step up and have one at bat. So it will be Jewel Bihar coming up to the plate now. Lobato does have speed. We saw her steal a base in the first inning, so Italy will have to keep an eye out on her. With Behar at the plate.
And the corner is just crashing so hard, creeping up down the line, anticipating the bunt. Frascaroli, the first baseman, and Turchi, the third baseman, now will be able to back up a bit because there's 2 strikes on the hitter, but maybe still she tries to lay one down. Frascaroli still playing a bit up the line.
She shows it and pulls back, and the runner advances into scoring position.
See if she still tries to lay down a bunt here. They're looking pretty committed to a sacrifice bunt. Showed bunt on that last pitch too, even with 2 strikes. Just saw her eyes move to the third baseman to read her. They'll swing away here, but sometimes when a hitter has good barrel control and you trust them to lay down a bunt, maybe to make contact more than swinging away, you go ahead and give them the green light on a 0-2, 1-2 count, but
if it goes foul, you're in trouble.
If it goes foul, you are in trouble.
Well, Sophia Mancini tried to frame that up for her pitcher. Full count here to Bihar. And it's a strikeout, the second one today for Sofia De Pasquale.
That's all she needed to do right there is throw strikes. When she's throwing strikes, she's having a lot of success in this game. Challenge Behar on that inner half. Got that strikeout.
Up next is Cher Blancha. Got the first hit of the game in the first inning. Came around and scored too. Cher is a Dodgers fan, also UCLA softball. She'd like to visit Korea, according to her questionnaire she filled out for us. Oh, and they're going to go ahead and walk her? Yeah. So in Little League, you don't have to throw the pitches. You can intentionally walk someone. So they put her on. That's 2 on, 1 in scoring position right now. As Kazea Valenzuela steps in. She also singled in the first.
Another delay steal. We've seen that so much, and even I saw it at the Southwest Regional. Seen it a couple of times here, but players with speed will get a pretty big lead, wait for the catcher to throw the ball back to the pitcher, and then take off for the next bag. Another stolen base for Lobaton.
That's 3 today. And we're in the second inning. Runner going. 2 in scoring position. Let's take you back to that delayed steal.
So Lobaton got that big lead, waited for the catcher to throw it back, and then took off, noticing that nobody was covering third base.
Well, good for her. I mean, recognizing the situation, also paying attention to her coaches.
Yeah, and usually too, that's a read that a player will do on their own. They usually have the green light to do it. Their coaches trust that they just notice what's going on and have a good read and go ahead and take off on their own, because notice the trail runner wasn't doing the same thing back behind her. So that tells me that Lobaton took it upon herself to steal.
Pop up, drops. Runners are safe. And Blanche gets back to second.
Blanche being a little too aggressive with that bunt being popped up in the air. Maybe she thought that, and that just not reading the runner out, so thinking, hey, ball's put in play, no matter what. But Lobaton, knowing the situation, seeing where that ball ended up, decided to stay put.
That's a hit for Valenzuela, and back to the pitcher we go. J.C. Pahotal reached on a fielder's choice in the first.
Now Sofia De Pasquale needs to be able to step up again. Remember, we saw her getting a bases loaded jam. She fell behind 3-0 in the last inning, and she was able to get the strikeout. So a similar situation here, bases loaded, 2 outs, falls behind this hitter. Can she do it again? Will she throw 3 straight strikes in a row to get that strikeout again?
Going for the drama.
That's it right there. And the coaching staff said about Sofia that when she plays, she feels like she's in a bubble and doesn't hear anything but her teammates supporting her. She needs that right now. You're in a bubble in the circle in your mind, slowing down your thoughts and your heartbeat. Got to go 1 pitch at a time.
This one's a slow roller. And they get the play at home.
Great choice, Courtney, by Sofia De Pasquale, because you think, well, first base, there's 2 outs. That's a collegiate career, continuing to still play professionally. And played in the Olympics as well.
Yeah, a lot of these Team Italy players listed her as their favorite player, somebody to look up to. It's so cool that we had that chance to watch softball back in the Olympics in Tokyo. So sad that we won't have it in Paris 2024, but just think about the impact that these girls got to see, you know, softball on that stage and see what's possible for them someday.
Well, especially for Italy to make it as well.
And now Mike Andrea, the former coach of Arizona, is working with the Italian national team.
Advisor to them. It's a big get.
I think Stefano Cinci, the manager for Italy, said he would love to meet Coach Andrea someday just to pick his brain about softball. Big high hit there, out to center field, and the grab made by Audrey Matangrong. All over it.
Coming to the plate, the pitcher, number 17, Sofia De Pasquale.
Such good teamwork. Out on defense and every aspect of the game by this Philippines team. You can tell they are a tight-knit team. Matangrong with the catch.
Brings us to the pitcher, Sofia De Pasquale. First time that she is up facing her counterpart, J.C. Pahotal. She's a big Oklahoma softball fan. Wants to be a doctor, enjoys Harry Potter. Ooh, her special talent though, Amanda.
Tell me.
Cooking.
Ooh, I bet she can cook some good Italian food, or maybe Italian's not her thing.
Do you remember Stefano Cinci, their manager, told us, I don't eat Italian food anywhere but Italy. And I was like, yeah, as you should. You should not do that. You should only eat it in Italy.
Yeah, there are things that make sense, and that makes sense.
Yep.
You know what's so great too about that catch that Matagrang just had out there in center field is how much the wind is blowing. I just looked up at the flags and right field and center field, and since the beginning of the game, the wind has really picked up.
JC Pahotal issues a walk. First one today, fourth one for the tournament.
Next up for Europe, Africa is select so 7, Vittoria Monti.
Vittoria Monti, the number 9 hitter for Team Italy. Going bunt. Tag made. And tag to 2, yes!
I got so excited. I'm sorry, Courtney, because I saw that play happen because JC Pahotal could have easily let this bunt roll foul, but she read the situation, knew that she could get this ball before it goes foul, tag Monti, who just laid it down, and then throw to the De Pasquale to get her out at second. Double play for the Philippines.
For the Philippines, I mean, last night it was loud over there. There is a local group that has ties to the Philippines, of Philippine descent, and they have really just latched on to this team.
Really cool to see the support. They made t-shirts and they cheer really hard, but just all connected. And they're Filipino. I mean, like, the signs that they made are just so well done. I think it looks beautiful, all wearing that blue with their t-shirts. They also cook them Filipino food, including rice, of course.
Yes, because
rice
is life. Grounder hops around, Torchi at third, and then Bluberto gets tripped up at short, and a runner on to start for the Philippines. It's Hezekiah Cuerda.
Philippines have been very aggressive up at the plate.
Cuerda reaches on the E5. Another substitution coming as Erica Pachon will step into the 7th spot.
For Asia Pacific, number 7, Erica Paschen.
Philippines has left the bases loaded the last 2 innings. They've had some chances to add to the score, and now Sofia Mancini behind the plate. She is aware of those runners right now. They've stolen a handful of bases.
The corners are right in the face of Passion. Moved up in the box, expecting for her to bunt again, and Rascaroli and Turchi just ready to charge.
Three balls to Pachon. Ball 4. So an error and a walk allows the Philippines to get 2 runners on, the first 2 batters in this inning. Reach. You know, the format a little bit different this year for the Little League Softball World Series. They're divided into 2 brackets, the purple and the orange bracket. We're playing in the purple bracket right now, and the winner of each bracket will play in the championship on Monday night. So it's different than in years past where they did pool play. Philippines, if they win, they'll stay in the winner's portion of the bracket and play Friday at 4 Eastern on ESPN2. They would get Maryland in that game. Here's how our bracket shapes up right now. This is the purple bracket. Maryland advanced. How about that game? That was intense. 7 innings. Walk-off hit from Kinsley Rain, an RBI single in the 7th to win it for Maryland. Also, Macy Rickards with 18 strikeouts in that game.
Insane number. We've had some big pitching performances in the past couple of games. Games have been tight.
For the Philippines. And we'll have a visit out to the circle for Team Italy from Stefano Cenci. Pitching change is coming, and it looks like we're going to see Sophia Cenci.
Defense, but has a chance to work out of it right now with 2 runners on.
So the first batter she will face from the Philippines is a pinch hitter stepping up to the plate, Jonah Mungkal, with 2 on. Runners reached by an error and a walk to start this 3rd inning for the Philippines. Both of their runs coming in the 1st inning.
Sophia Cenci just coming in and throwing strikes, exactly what she needed to do. Little confusion on the count, just trying to figure out, was that strike 3? Was it strike 2?
No, it was strike 3.
Cenci throwing with some good velocity, though. Most important thing that you can do as a pitcher, I know it sounds cliche, but it's just to throw strikes. Find the strike zone, go right at a hitter, especially that first pitch strike. So important to establish it.
And we'll have another substitution here for the Philippines. Jean Estrada. Yeah, that's got to be a confidence boost for Sophia Cenci in the circle to come in and start off with a strikeout. She's been paying attention to what's been happening out there while she's waiting her turn. Her father, the manager, Stefano, he told us the key for her to stay even emotionally. I think that might be the same for every pitcher at this level.
Every person, I think.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Bunt rolls foul.
Philippines just continuing to try to use that short game time and time again. We've seen 4 or 5 different players square around and bunt. Some good bunt situations, some have been trying to get on.
Ball gets away from Mancini behind the plate. 2 in scoring position now for the Philippines. Runners advance on the passed ball. And again, runner coming home. Tag is made by Sophia Cenci at home to avoid another run scoring.
Such a big play. This game is only 2-0, although with the amount of traction that the Philippines keeps getting on the base pass, it feels like they have a bigger lead than that. They need Cenci to come up, get the strikeout, and then be determined to get this out right here. I think if Cuerda would have started her slide earlier, it would have been a lower tag that Cenci would have had to go down for, and possibly her foot could have beaten the tag, but she stayed more upright, made herself an easier out for the second out.
So runner at third right now. And roll second for 3. The runner on. Scarborough back with you. What do you think about these young pitchers that we've seen?
Loving it. And I feel like this is a really pitching heavy Little League Softball World Series. Maybe the most pitching heavy one that we've seen in a long time. These pitchers are stepping up, throwing strikes, working both sides of the plate. It looks so good.
Yeah, we're definitely not mad about that fact for sure. Well, this Philippines team, we saw them have the great performance last night in the circle. Do you feel like their bats are kind of catching up today?
I think that they're playing really loose up at the plate, out on defense in the circle. This is a Philippines team that you can tell loves playing with each other, and they're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, and JC Pajotol has been great in the circle still. What do you want to see from Italy to kind of get to her a little bit more?
Just continue to be aggressive up at the plate. The more that they see her, the better that they're going to have a chance of getting a hit off of her, seeing her spin, understanding what she's trying to do, and get their timing up against her. I feel like overall they've done a good job of not chasing too much of her high fastball pitches that have been out of the zone. Continue to do that, stick with that game plan, and good results will come.
JC Pajotol, you see her line. I'm going to pull the Matt Schick and not say what's happening.
Oh, don't do it.
No, but you can read. Struck out 5 today so far. 5 all in a row, by the way, over the first and second innings.
Well, and she just throws a lot of strikes. In last night's game, she threw 89 pitches. 59 of those 89 pitches were strikes. 30 of those 59 were swing and misses.
Wow. Yeah, Canada had a really hard time. Could not make the adjustment against JC Pajotol. Top of the order for Italy in the 4th inning. Second time up for Bluberto, the shortstop.
I really enjoyed talking with Bluberto on Zoom before they weren't here, right? When we talked to them, it seems like so long ago. They were still in Italy.
I know that too because it was daytime when we were talking to them and it was dark behind her in the window.
Seems like so long ago, and we talked to all 12 teams, so. But you can tell she loves the game. She just a joy to be around. Very good teammate. She's very focused.
I love to. We asked her about a key moment for this team, and she said when they were playing in regionals in the Netherlands, they got down and they just continued to bring the energy. And that was really important, to keep cheering each other on. She said that made a really big difference. Actually has some family in Dallas, Texas that'll be watching, so she had been to America a couple times.
Yeah, especially now, second time through the order for Italy. They have a chance right now, only down by 2 runs, which the Philippines have left quite a few runners on base, so the score could be a lot different than what it is right now, but Philippines unable to push more runs across. Although another strikeout for Pajotol.
That's her 6th.
You'll notice the pitch location of this strikeout. A little bit more up in the zone again. Low baton, wanting that pitch to be more up in the zone, and that's what is really that I'm noticing about her, is that Italy maybe is not chasing the pitch at their eyes, so she's able to bring it down maybe to their letters or to their shoulders, and then being able to get a swing and miss, or maybe bring it down a little bit more and get a called strike that's more up in the zone.
And Pajotol has only allowed 2 hits in 9 innings in this World Series so far. And Amanda, you were talking about the numbers that the Philippines have left on base as Italy tries to catch up here. They've left 7 on. They've left the bases loaded twice, so.
And just 3 innings, offensive innings for them.
Right. Martina Canali, pinch hitter here for Italy. Every player must have at least one at bat. Hops back to Pahotal and slowed down.
I mean, it's just no problem for her. She just is like, has cat-like reflexes out of the circle. She makes a pitch, is able to get a good read on how the barrel is going to connect with the ball and know where the ball is going to be hit. And that's, I mean, you don't actually talk a lot about, even in the college games, is that ability of a pitcher to see where the ball is going, read the swing, see the connection, and be able to field your position. It's just next level athleticism that Pahotal has been showing us.
I'm very impressed with her all-around game. She gets ready to face Katerina Turci for the second time. Struck her out in the first inning.
Going back to last night's game, too, she was kind of like the leadoff hitter for the good pitching performances and the double-digit strikeout performances last night. But, I mean, this has to be one of the best Philippines team that they have brought and to make it to the Little League Softball World Series. And maybe last night with her 11 strikeouts and complete game shutout.
Safe for Turci.
It's a good read by Turci to not bunt it down the first base line. That has been overplayed, and Pahotal has stepped up to the challenge every time. So this time, she bunts it more toward the third base side, and Pahotal is there again. I mean, she is right there. She would have fielded that cleanly. She would have been able to get the out at first base. That is a tough play to her backhand side, and because of that bobble, Turci's safe.
That is a base hit, though, so there goes the no-hitter for Pahotal. She carried it into this fourth inning. We saw Zaneri Hughes carry a perfect game into the fifth inning earlier today. It's a pretty exciting way to start day 2 of the tournament.
She looked awesome.
And we'll have 4 games for you every day through Friday. Most of them here on ESPN Plus. We'll move over to your TV Friday at 4 on ESPN2. Championship Monday night on ESPN.
And you know, Courtney, this is an Italian team that knows how to come together. In order to get here, one of the key moments of this team was in the tournament in Italy. Their first pool play game, they lost to Lombardi. And after that, it was like, okay, no more. They came out, came together. This is a team that knows how to fight back.
Yeah, close-knit group. They've been together since April. They had a tryout. 30 girls tried out for this team, all from different club teams. The same Little League, too. The Emilia Romagna Little League went to the Baseball Little League World Series back in 2019. Second straight time that we've had. Remember, the last time we had international teams was in 2019. And it was also a team from Italy representing Europe, Africa. Did not have the Little League World Series in 2020. And then only domestic teams in 2021. Those teams from America. Full count to Fatinati. And she'll walk. There's Fantinati's mom watching in the stands. She is aboard as Italy's trying to make this comeback.
Really big situation right now for Italy for Fantinati to be able to take that walk. 2 runners on, just down by 2, still in the middle of your order right here.
Really cool to get to see Fantinati's mom, Sylvia.
Mention for
There were several players that their families made the trip. I think Blue told us there were 17 parents making the trip, 8 families represented.
Yeah, maybe some watch parties going on back home too in Italy.
But the food's way better than any watch party here.
Yeah.
Making a substitution again for Team Italy, Alyssa Piovani.
This is where you really start to feel how all those runners left on base can make an impact in this game. And Palmera in left field, you can barely see her. She's up against the wall, basically heels on the warning track, respecting the power of Piovani. I mean, she's so far out there that she almost blends in with the fence.
This is Alyssa Piovani's mom watching on. Yeah, get that photo. Maybe Alyssa is looking out to left field.
Best part, though, as an outfielder, if you are playing that far back, you know that if anything looks like it's in front of you, all you have to do is just run straight. You don't have to think, should I go back? No, you just go straight in and run as hard as you can to keep that ball from finding the hole.
Strike 2. Two runners aboard for Italy. The tying run at first. Strikeout! JC Pahotal doing what she does best, just striking out batters.
She does it again. She does not get nervous. Runner in scoring position, 2 on, and she gets a mile or two, maybe even go to the same school as some of your teammates. I mean, that aspect I never really got until I played league ball, but to feel like you're going to school with them. I didn't go to school with anybody that I'd ever played with until I got to high school, and I thought that was really cool.
That's super cool. You can develop those friendships, that chemistry. Definitely memories. I think they're going to have memories of coming to the World Series for a very long time. They do it right, Little League does, with making these girls feel like they've accomplished something special because they have. Obviously, they get the uniforms, they get the gear. There's parades, there's different opportunities for them to meet other teams. This is Chelsea Lobato on the top of the order for the Philippines for the 3rd time today.
Well, and for this Philippines team, this is the entire team's first time to come to America, to maybe even ride on a plane before. And it was quite the journey for them to get here. It took about a day and a half.
Chenshi doing everything she can to get that ball over to first. That was a big-time hustle.
I will tell you what, from the minute that Chenshi came into this game, she has said, no more. I'm stopping the bleeding. She got the strikeout. She got the out at home, and then she's able to make that play right there. Because, Courtney, it's so easy to give in this sport. It's easy for you to throw it past the catcher's head. You know there's a runner there, like, oh, they're going to score. I'm just not going to try very hard because, bummer, they're going to score. Or that ball got away from her, and she just gives up on the play. But that's that next level of athleticism, is that you say, no, I can do this. I'm strong enough to get the out. I'm strong enough to finish the play. I'm strong enough to throw strikes to get this strikeout right here. And you feel that with Chenshi in the circle.
I will say that Audrey Matangrong did go. Two-two count. Audrey reached on an error in the first inning that allowed a runner to come home.
Before that awesome play by Chinchi, Court, we were talking about the Philippines and their experience here, and we had a chance to talk to one of the Little League marketing representatives before the game, and she was talking about being able to observe the Philippines team participate in all these extra activities that come along with being a part of the World Series. And every time that she's seen them, she's seen emotion from them as Matarang walks, of just crying, of just not even believing that they're able to experience everything that they're getting to be a part of. And it's just the type of thing that gives you goosebumps. And it's just incredible experiences and memories made.
Yeah, you just love, like, you think about, yeah, it's a softball game, but it's way more than that. Cher Blancha reached in both of her times to the plate, a single and a walk, has a run scored too. Runner going. Audrey didn't even have to slide, got there in time.
I will say, as much as the Philippines team, does all the little things right, I do think that they need a little sliding lesson. Maybe bring out a slip and slide, douse it with some water and just work on some sliding, because I've seen a lot of late slides or no, it was close, no slides. In between slides, and you know what that can do is not only get you out, it can get you hurt. You don't want to get hurt because you slide too late, you jam a foot, ankle, knee, but your back.
It's a 2-2 count right now to Blancha.
It's a big second base bag. It's almost bigger than Audrey out there at second base.
Audrey had a duck over that shot from Blancha, trying to come home. A run scores again for the Philippines. What a productive day for Cher Blancha.
And stolen bases continue to pay off for the Philippines, getting that runner to second base into scoring position. And Blancha has hit the ball so hard. 3 quality at-bats for her in this game. The first time that the Philippines have scored in an inning other than the first inning, is right now.
Only scored 1 run last night on a couple of hits, and today 3 runs on 4 hits. As Valenzuela steps in, runner going. Italy ready for it, but it gets past the shortstop. Blancha safe at second.
I really hope she's okay. We were just talking about them sliding. She's jumping around, but it looked like her cleat got caught in the dirt as she was going in. Gives 2 thumbs up. It's hard to see there because the umpire, right? Oh, yeah, the back of her cleat, the heel of her cleat got stuck in the ground, and that caused her leg to jam. Really hope she's okay.
She gave a double thumbs up to her coach. A really interesting moment there, Amanda. Italy, the players called all of them in, including the outfield, into the circle to have a quick conversation. A fast one hit at Calzolari at second.
You notice that Italy in this game has really understood and felt the times where their defense just feels a little bit off and out of sync. We've seen that within this inning. Not throwing to the right base, even a little bobble of the ball there. That was well hit very hard. It's always good to see, though, a team come together and understanding that, hey, it's getting late in this game. We just gave up another run, but we're only down by 3. Let's keep the score where it's at.
JC Pahotal is going to try to do the opposite of that. A very wild pitch coming in. Make it 4-0 Philippines. One count to JC Pahotal as the run scores on the wild pitch. Blancha was the one that scored that. Her and Valenzuela have all 4 of the Philippines' hits. This one to Blue Berto. And JC Pahotal is safe.
Yeah, so in college you play with metal cleats, spikes that can dig into the ground so that this ball hit to Blue Berto. If she's wearing metal cleats, because all of her weight is going toward third base, right there, she doesn't slide. Her foot sticks into the ground, and then she's able to bring that energy from the ground through her throw to make that long throw to first base. Good athleticism for her to get to that ball, but unable to make that throw.
That will be a hit for Pahotal. Looking for another stolen base. That'd be 7 stolen bases now for the Philippines.
Now every time I think they're all holding their breath because they're not great at sliding. And now then you become scared to slide, and then when you're tentative, that's sometimes when a collision can happen or you decide too late.
And Manalo back up at the plate. She's re-entered. Had a sac fly to score a run in the first inning. Back to the pitcher, Chenchi, and takes her time, making the throw to first to get the out. 2 more runs. Semifinals. The loser will play again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. against Missouri. That will be an elimination game. We are in the double elimination portion of the bracket. They call it phase 1.
And you can really tell with the phase 1 and phase 2 and the difference of the scheduling that every game matters even more. Every game is more emotional than what we're used to seeing in the past when there was pool play.
Yeah, pool play, I think you were guaranteed 5 games, and you would kind of play like a round robin, and then the teams with the best record would move on to the quarterfinals. Well, now you're only guaranteed 2 games because they expanded to 12 teams. They added 2 more teams from the United States. And so the bracket had to change. So Elena Bonserio will lead off here for Italy, down 4 in the top of the 5th. Remember, in Little League, we play 6 innings.
It's got to feel good for Pahotal and the defense of the Philippines to go out there with a 4-run lead. Played with a 1-run lead the entire game last night. That makes you feel nervous and anxious trying to hold on to that 1-run lead and keep it. And then even today, you know, playing with just a 2-run lead for 3 innings. 2 extra runs make you feel more comfortable.
It's been such a hot day. First time, too, that JC Pahotal has pitched in the sun because they were the late game last night, but I don't think it matters. She's okay with the heat.
Not phasing her at all.
8 strikeouts today. She had 11 last night. Ah, the telephone. I can't do the voice like Matt Schick.
Nobody can.
I like that it's red, though. There's a sense of urgency there. They could have just picked any phone, and they went with a red one. Elisa Casadillo is the pinch hitter. Italy picked up its only hit in the 4th inning. They've walked twice today.
Down movement. I know that the coaches just told us that she throws a drop ball, but that she just throws a fastball, but that pitch right there looked like a drop ball. It fell off the table, and then those pitches that are more up in the zone looks like a rise ball. I mean, these pitches are spinning, they're moving a bit. She's pitching with good velocity.
We're pausing for a shoe tying moment here. Do you do the 2 loops into a bow, or are you a 1 looper?
1 looper.
Yeah. I think I learned with the 2 loops after I graduated from the Velcro shoes.
That's that down movement, though, I'm talking about. Right at the knees, looks like a drop ball that just falls off the table. And when you're able to move the ball up and down in the zone, you are so hard to hit. Lobaton is setting up more up in the zone, and that was up a little bit, but not exactly where Lobaton wanted it. But JC, another strikeout. Could this be 4 games in a row with double-digit strikeouts?
I mean, let's try it. JC's up for it, apparently. 3 strikeouts in a row going back to the 4th inning, all looking.
Yeah, the hitters that have come in off of the bench haven't been very aggressive. Those are where those looking strikeouts have come from.
This is the pitcher, Sophia Chenchi, her first AB.
We have not seen JC throw a changeup at all.
Well, apparently she only has a fastball.
Just a fastball.
But she could have a drop ball and a rise ball.
yeah.
Ball 4. 3rd walk today by JC. Will Italy be able to capitalize this time? We'll see if Vittoria Monti can help out her pitcher and her teammate who's over on first base right now. Takes the first pitch over to first. Oh, and she had to hit the gas on that one. And Manalo looked and nobody was on first. Some tough defense from the Philippines. Still no score by Italy. That's a 16-hour flight. Flew from New York to Charlotte, and then they got on a bus from Charlotte to Greenville. And you know, it takes way longer to get anywhere. So it was a 5-hour bus ride to get here to the Little League Softball World Series.
Easy travel. 8,700 miles, almost 9,000 miles away. Not kilometers,
Not
miles.
kilometers. Yeah, we had a little Google incident.
But if you want to know how many kilometers it is, it's over 17,000 kilometers. So there's that.
There's that. Amanda Scarborough, ladies and gentlemen, with the kilometers.
What's the furthest flight you've ever been on?
Probably to Greece.
How
I
long?
think it was 10 hours.
Okay.
Oh, coming back. Going there is always faster, I feel like.
Right.
You got a tailwind pushing you. What about you?
Houston to Sydney.
Oh,
Was like
direct?
18 or 19. Yeah,
Who knew there was such a need for a flight from Houston to Sydney, Australia?
I know.
Princess Ablig trying to beat out the throw. I just love to say her name.
I know you do.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Great name.
Next up, the second baseman, number 3, Angela Esparita.
I might be lying. It might have been from San Francisco and or LA. No, I'm going
Really?
to United and need to check this out.
You were on the flight, though.
But I was on the flight.
Angela Esparita. And the strike comes in from Sophia Chinchi.
And Shinchi has thrown strikes. She's been really good, and she's definitely made a big impact on this game whenever she entered. Brought a different energy. Yeah, okay, so you do have to stop, but either way, it was like 18 or 19 hours from LA.
Straight to the airline website.
I just wanted to see.
It was just so long, you blocked it out.
Yeah.
Strikeout for Sofia Chenchi. That's her second today.
And I think, too, if Italy is unable to come back and win this game, she will be one of the highlights and big takeaways to bring into their next game. That they can rely on her, that she got some experience at this Little League World Series level and feel. And looked good. Looked pretty at home for the most part.
Jessica Palmieri, the number 9 hitter. You know, you might think too, oh, the Philippines played yesterday, so they had a chance to get comfortable. I don't think they ever looked uncomfortable yesterday on this field.
Yeah, I don't think that they did either. Of course, JC was in control, so didn't get tested a ton defensively, but maybe offensively they're a little bit tight,
Yeah.
but maybe that was because Stranahan, the pitcher for Canada, did such a good job that it made them look a little bit tight, more nervous at the plate.
Yeah, Ellis Stranahan had a really nice game for Canada. Remember, that was just a 1-run game, and the Philippines' lone run scored on an error.
Got a good one coming up next, too, that if you're watching softball all day, you're going to want to stick around and see.
Oh, I'm very excited about the next one. Drop third strike. They make the tag on Palmera. Another strikeout for Sofia Chenchi. Time for Italy to grab the bats.
The Little
Not
League
yet.
Softball World Series.
Not yet. Maybe someday. 9 strikeouts for JC Pahotal. She had 11 last night. And as Amanda said, one more, and she'd be the third pitcher today to have double-figure strikeouts.
And she started the trend last night.
She said, guys, level up.
Pitchers have been really good today.
Bluberto with the bunt. Back to Pahotal.
We jinxed them. We were just talking about their sharp defense, and Pahotal made that play and made the throw, but Manalo dropped the ball. Did a good job again, fielding her position, getting her feet in a good position to make that throw, but clearly dropping the ball and then trying to pick it up quick. But Italy with a little bit of life here late in the game.
It's an error at first. Oh man, Ablig was going for that one in foul territory.
She hasn't gotten much action over there, Ablig, so I'm sure she's any ball that comes her way, she's gonna go all out for it, trying to make a play.
This is the last chance for Italy. We play 6 innings in Little League.
And you know, the purple bracket, which is a part of the game that we're seeing right now, has had really good defense and pitching. Only 12 runs have been scored in 4 games for the purple bracket.
Meanwhile, the orange bracket has 30 runs scored. Really interesting how that shapes up. Runner going again, and Bluberto into scoring position. Thought she was going there on the last play, but it was a foul ball, so she had to come back.
Surprised to see the aggressiveness from Italy, just down to 3 outs. And usually you don't want to be too aggressive, because even though Berto got in there pretty safely, you just never know. Every out is precious right now, down by 4 runs.
And Julia Calzolari still working hard at the plate right now. Fouls off another pitch from Pahotal. And that's the first stolen base for Italy today. Meanwhile, the Philippines has 7.
Like what the coaching staff said about Calzolari, she expects. She expects to give or do anything in her power for the team, to help the team.
Two to Calzolari.
Together good at bat, fouling off some pitches here and making the hotel work.
This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat.
Italy, of course, you want to win this game. You want to win every game, but when you're being shut out, you're down by 4 runs. Even a little success is scoring runs.
Back to Pahotal. Gets the runner at first. Bluberto is over at third.
Another good play by Pahotal, knowing exactly what she wants to do. Her job right there is not to be distracted by Bluberto. It's just to get an out. So even though she saw Berto breaking for third base, she said, nope, I'm just going to go to first, get 1 out, because that out is a sure out.
So that brings up Caterina Torci, and she has the only hit for Italy today. It came in the 4th inning, the last time she was up at the plate.
And Pahotal pretty even and consistent with her pitch count. Last night she had 89 pitches. Today she's right at 86. And here we are in the last inning, just a couple outs away from another win if she can pull it off. A few more balls today. Just a couple.
Chance for Bluberto to come home as the ball gets away from the Philippines, and Italy has their first run across.
Breaking up the shutout, and Bluberto so excited that she just tried to help her team manufacture that run, put the ball in play, forced the Philippines to commit an error, stole a base, took an extra base, and then able to come around and score. She was so excited too. And honestly, if you're Philippines, I think you just play it safe. I don't think you make that throw to third base. Just go have all your focus put on this hitter right here. Now all of a sudden, the Philippines have 2 errors in 1 inning, and we were just bragging on their defense.
Yeah, the one that put Blue on, and then the one that just scored her. That is a web gem right there. What a grab at second base from Angela Esperita.
Love that Angela stayed on her feet for this. She stayed with it, read it off the bat, got such a good break, and then her glove just followed the ball down. It was like a drop ball, but her glove just continued to follow the ball down to the ground, and she just grabbed it right before it hit the ground. What a play for the second out.
Italy down to its final out here, and they will bring Martina Fantinati to the plate, who walked in the 4th inning the last time up. They're asking her to remove the towel from her back pocket. And here we go. Fantinati trying to extend this game for Italy.
Better at bats, his 3rd time through for Italy, putting the ball in play. No strikeouts in this inning. They've had at least 1 strikeout. Actually, they've had at least 2 strikeouts. And all but the third inning in this one.
2 balls come in from JC Pahotal.
So hot out there too. I mean, these players just are taking it in stride and don't even really look that hot. I noticed that in my regional too in Waco, Texas, where the temperatures, it was actually even hotter than what it is here by a few degrees. But the players are just using adrenaline. They're playing through it, not focused on it, playing the game they love.
Three balls and a strike to Fantinati. Not thinking about the heat right now. Just thinking about what pitch is coming next. Feels like 103. Full count.
An opportunity to get that elusive 10th strikeout to make it another double-digit strikeout performance.
She does it! 10 Ks for JC Pahotal! And the Philippines are moving on to the purple bracket semifinal on Friday.
JC Pahotal looks so sharp all throughout this game, still moving that fastball with a little bit of rise ball action to it, up through the zone all throughout this game, even using a little bit of drop action too. 10 strikeouts, only gave up 1 hit. JC Pahotal, another win, another complete game win in the World Series.
How impressive has she been? 10 strikeouts today, 11 strikeouts last night, and here is how the purple bracket is shaping up on the winner's side. The Philippines advancing to take on Maryland in the purple bracket semifinal on Friday at 4 Eastern. We will see Team Italy again tomorrow.